Good day, everyone. I am Jaya Lumari Ulep. Today, we will explore another interesting topic. But before that, let's have an activity first. Our activity is called 4 Pics, 1 Word. Are you familiar with this? If yes, then that's great. Therefore, I conclude you'll accomplish this task easily. But if you don't have any clue about this, don't worry. I will give the following procedures for you to be guided. So, listen carefully for the instructions. First, observe the pictures. Look at the 4 images displayed on the screen. Each image represents a part of the same idea. Next, think of common word. Analyze the photos and the word with missing letters. Identify that one word that connects them all. Now, I'll give you 30 seconds to think. Time is up. Let's see if your answer is correct. The word is inclusion. Great job! Now let's see what inclusion means. Inclusion is the act of including someone or something as part of a group. Now let's dive deeper. Our topic today is making schools inclusive, focusing on producing inclusive policies. Before we proceed, I will introduce to you our 3 objectives. First, identify the steps in producing inclusive policies to help make schools more inclusive for students with additional needs. Next, demonstrate appreciation of the importance of the involvement of sectors and community collaboration in promoting inclusive education. And lastly, create an action plan or proposal to produce inclusive policies in their own school. We will be guided with these following objectives until the end of our lesson. Inclusive policies provide a baseline for schools and security for students, and to ensure that schools are made physically accessible to all learners, promotes eco-values, and supports special education needs and disabilities. The images shown earlier illustrate various aspects of an inclusive school. These elements highlight the importance of schools' crucial role in fostering inclusivity by implementing policies that accommodate students with disabilities, support diverse learning styles, and encourage respect for individuals. Through inclusive policies, school can create a culture where every student feels a sense of belonging and has the opportunity to thrive. As reiterated in the previous chapters, the premise of inclusion starts with an acceptance and embracing of diversity. It is difficult to start movement if this practice is not rooted in a culture that assumes the right perspectives and values. For simultaneous paradigm shifts to happen among its education stakeholders, schools must first create a new culture. United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, or known as UNESCO, realistically acknowledges that a societal change in attitude need not be initially present in a community before inclusion can be fully practiced. Rather, it must be viewed as a perspective or an ideal to work toward. Without this realization, differences in standards and quality of education may surface as potential problems. Just very recently, the pre-service education curriculum was restructured so that special needs education units are not only given to special needs education majors but to other education majors as well. This is a huge step for teachers and a nod to inclusive education. Now, let's jump to the following list of other possible steps that educators can take to facilitate the much needed societal shift and inform policy. First is involve other sectors of society. Second, collaborate. Third, recognize the shift in roles of the teachers. And fourth, include transitions in planning. However, in this video, I will only tackle the 1 and 2. Involve other sectors of society. Active involvement of the entire community must be ensured, not just only limit on training and campaign on home, school, and departments for social welfare and health. So what are these sectors of society that need to be involved in order for true inclusion to happen? First is businesses. Supermarkets, malls, and restaurants should train staff to assist persons with disabilities. Next is transportation. Land, airline, and maritime companies should ensure accessibility. Now we have government offices. Agencies that don't focus on health or social welfare should still consider PWD-friendly policies. Security forces, particularly police and security guards, should be trained to handle situations involving PWDs. Media, television, radio, and online platforms can help spread awareness and positive representation. It is also important to reach religious organizations. Churches and places of worship should have ROMs and sign language interpreters. Lastly, we have neighborhood spaces, such as playgrounds, village stores, and local events should be inclusive as well. Examples of inclusion is when a bus driver who is trained to assist passengers using wheelchairs, or a church with a ramp and reserved seating for people with mobility issues. Or for instance, students belonging to architectural and interior design programs have been working on theses and capstone projects where their main clients have additional needs. When the whole community understands and supports PWDs, life becomes easier for them. They can move around safely, access services without trouble, and feel like they truly belong. A more aware community creates a more compassionate and inclusive society where everyone, no matter their abilities, can live with dignity and independence. So it is very important to involve other sectors of society because the goal is for people to gain information, regardless of their training or exposure, to become more sensitive and more aware of the needs of all PWD population. The more aware a community is, the more it will be able to help. Now, let us proceed to the second, collaborate. Collaboration is crucial, whether creating an academic program specific to a child with additional needs or creating a new legislative bill for the PWD community. Each member of the inclusive education team would have their own strengths and weaknesses, and these have to be used wisely to benefit the child with additional needs. Del Korochenko states that general education teachers are trained in the general curriculum but would not know how to teach and manage children with additional needs. On the other hand, special needs education teachers would be equipped to handle atypical behaviors but would not know much about the general education curriculum. For instance, in a mainstream classroom, a student with autism struggles with social interactions and sensory sensitivities. The general education teacher understands the subject matter and can deliver lessons effectively, but may not know the best strategies to support the student's unique needs. Meanwhile, the special education teacher is skilled in behavior management and individualized instruction, but may not be deeply familiar with the specific grade level curriculum. To ensure the student thrives, both teachers collaborate. The special education teacher suggests accommodations, such as allowing the student to use noise-canceling headphones and providing structured routines. The general education teacher integrates these strategies while ensuring the student meets academic goals. This example highlights how both types of teachers bring essential expertise to the learning process. General education teachers ensure academic progress, while special education teachers provide support tailored to the child's additional needs. When their skills are combined effectively, students with special needs receive a well-rounded education that fosters both academic and personal growth. Therefore, the strengths of both types of teachers must be used wisely to benefit children with additional needs. Now that I already discussed to you the first two steps, I bet you are now ready for another activity. This activity is called My Inclusive School Idea. Listen for the instructions. You will write a short proposal with 5 to 7 sentences outlining one new policy to make your school inclusive. The proposal should include, first, the problem you want to address. Second, the new policy you want to propose. Third, the benefits for the students with additional needs. And lastly, who should be involved in producing this inclusive policy. So that's it. I hope you obtain lessons out of this discussion. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.